Joey's letter to the English-speaking churches within the world, within the earth. If you think that the purpose of a church is to make money, you have missed the point. Money is a resource that a church can use, and a church will accumulate money to the benefit of widows and orphans in particular, and some to the administration of that church. But if your goal in making a church is, my church will be better than his church, you have missed the point. Your church is not to be better than somebody else's by your heart's desire. Your church is to be the best it can be, which may or may not be better than somebody else's, but the purpose is not to be better than others, but to be the best you that you can be, to have the best church you can have. It is not about competition. It is about fulfilling the quotas and laws of God. It's not about the quotas and laws of man. It's about the quotas and laws of God. Do not think that your congregation is your number one contributor, because while they will provide, and you should accept the provision they are bringing, the provision that you ultimately receive is from God. Your biggest contributor to your church, if it is a God-fearing, God-loving church, is God. And by God-fearing, I mean a church that reverences God, that views him as who he is and not as somebody else. God is not some punk like the devil. He's God. And to recognize that the Creator is not to be viewed as some nobody is important. Recognize God's purpose in you having a church. Recognize God's meaning in it. Because if he asked you to plant it, that's a whole lot better than if you just decide, oh, I want to plant a church. Because ultimately the desire of your heart should be the desire of God's heart. And yes, wealth can come along with that. It's not evil to have money. It is evil to, when you have money, go and spend it on your church building when widows and orphans are out there needing provision. If pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is to help widows and orphans and stay unspotted from the world, and your goal is to expand your church building to the glory of man and not to the glory of God, then you have missed the point.